Kyle, you want to do a proper intro?
I mean, damn, I don't know if I want them and any listeners as fans if they don't know who Wiz Khalifa is. Like, I don't have to go that deep into it. But ladies and gentlemen, very special guest today, Wiz Khalifa. How was that, Wiz?
Yeah.
What's happening? What up? What up? What up? What up?
So, welcome to the show. Kush and OJ too, about a month out. You're about to go on tour. I watched that video of Jelly Roll bringing you out on stage, Coach. I mean, you're all over the place. How's it feel? You're gonna have a busy summer ahead of you.
Yeah, super busy. Just getting ready. Happy to get out there, be with the fans, and connect with everybody in person. That's like a real important part of the experience for me. The music is one thing, but bringing it to real life is another. So I'm happy I'm able to do that.
Fire. Well, one, I want to say, man, congrats, first of all, on the release of Kush and OJ2, man. That's super dope. I know it was like maybe last month, right?
Mhm.
But that's just super dope. You know what I mean? Another milestone, right? I wanted to ask you, what was the process like making this one and how different it was making the first one?
Um, on the process of making this one, uh, I don't know if it was different because it involved the same elements of really just involving the fans and the listeners and everybody who's going to be digesting the project and going based off of what I know that they're going to respond to. And that was really the idea behind the first one as well. Being that Twitter was such a new like driving force, I had such a connection and a direct, like kind of relationship with my fans. So that's
Yeah.
always where my music has been geared towards. So making this one, it was fun to return to those same elements that I know is what makes the music what it is.
Yeah. For sure. No, that's super dope. That's super dope. I also want to ask, speaking of Twitter, you know what I mean? Like you was definitely one of like the first people, you know what I mean, that really like utilized social media in general. I feel like your day-to-day specifically, how do you feel like your day-to-day series like kind of affected music, artists, and even like content now, you know what I'm saying? Like today, you know what I'm saying? How do
Yeah, it helped to pioneer a lot of the personality that comes with music now. Because before, I think it was okay to just be an artist. But after, I did what was necessary for me to, succeed, it became more of you have to have personality. You got to have a group of people who follow you. You have to be consistent with your own content, and really it put more of the power back into the artist's hands, proving that we know our brands more than anybody who could ever try to market us. And ever since then, you've seen just the independence of the artist and the importance of their following. So I would say it helped to, just kind of light a fire under a lot of people. A lot of people tell me how they watch my videos just growing up over and over and over. And those are successful people now who went on to do great things. So just knowing that it physically put people in like boss positions instead of just being entertainment and being about smoking weed, but really help people level up in their lives.
Yeah.
I think that was a bonus to me just having fun.
Do you
Fire.
think more too much is expected of artists these days, just as far as how like open you have to be, or how like much you have to like, peel the blind, so to speak, and let like a
Nah, I don't
do
think
it?
there's too much expected. I think that fans, some people like a facade and some people don't. So it gives the fans a choice to support people who they know aren't this facade, or, sometimes they like the mystery and things like that. But I just think it gives people an alternative, and I'm all for the underground and the alternative and the self-made people. So that's who I'm always going to champion for.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you had speaking of that, La Russell, obviously he's been on a huge run as far as the self-made, constant, I mean, utilizing, definitely winning the social media algorithm
Mhm.
right now. Like what kind of got you guys put in touch? I mean, was it someone that kind of came to your attention or how did that link up happen?
Yeah, he just popped up on my radar. I'm always on the internet and checking out who's next and who got motion. And he's just somebody who reminded me of myself or the people that I admire and how they understand themselves and promote themselves and just make their own way out here. And just me sharing those same feelings about marketing and music and branding and things like that. I could see his trajectory and see where he's going. So it's just something that, like I said, I always champion for those people. And I reached out to him, just DM'd him, being that I was working on a lot of stuff. And the song that we made ended up being one of my favorite songs. And we put it out for the fans the way that I love to do it. And their response was exactly what we wanted to be. So that was one that, came together because we wanted it and because people loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's fire, man. I had another. So I've been seeing a lot of the. I feel like in music, I feel like we always have these like these shifts and things like that. But one thing that has remained is like the guys from the blog era that are considered like blog era. Like all you guys have sustained this like y'all sustain this like 10-year run, of just greatness and being able to still be here after all these years. So I wanted to ask you one, what is it like? What was it like, being like one of the main guys, in the blog era? And how do you feel like this streaming era is different? And I want to ask you, do you like the difference? You know what I mean? Do you rock with it?
Yeah. So what was the first question?
My fault. How you feel about how do you just tell me what it was like, being at the height, in the blog era, you know what I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
around that time because it was different. It
It's
was different.
yeah, it's dope being around that time. I think the morals were a little bit different
Mhm.
and the standard was a little bit different as well.
Mhm.
And we were just competing at our highest level, but we didn't really know that we were setting ourselves up for like eternal greatness. I think we all
You're
just wanted to like,
just trying to get your music out there.
we were hanging with our friends. We were
Right,
getting fresh. We were rapping about what's real. I mean, we still do, but rapping about what's relevant to us and what we aspire to be. And a lot of those things translated into the longevity that y'all see. And a lot of the skill level was, and still is like top tier. You got Cole, you got me, you got Kendrick, you got, you know what I'm saying? There's like
right.
really,
Pretty good
really
lineup.
top tier dudes, like really good rappers, performers, just all around artists in general when you look at the quality of the artistry. And we've been this way, you know what I mean? We came out the gate, no cosigns, no none of that, and we made people believe in us. And I think that stands for a lot. It says a lot. And the fan base that we created, they have a lot of great memories with us. And the generation now, I do like the streaming era. It's a little bit more disposable, and I don't see uh you know the you have like you have like the moments here and there, but they don't age the way that our moments really aged,
Yeah.
and they don't translate into adulthood the way that you know music is going to get older than it's going to get younger.
Right,
So a song or a wave that might be popular for 2 years, you look up 2, 3 years later, and as popular as it was, it's just corny now. And
right. I mean,
it's
how many
not.
eras have you lived through?
Yeah, and it's not like that. It's not like
Right,
that. I feel like the blog era was the last era of that because you had the 90s, which is irreplaceable. You have the 2000s, which a lot of people are revisiting now,
right,
which is looking irreplaceable. And then you have our era, which gets a lot of love and respect for the substance. And then music just starts to become a little bit more disposable
Yeah.
and just you start to see people's runs get shorter and shorter and shorter,
right.
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I don't see is the sustainability and the creativity level. Like while it might be shocking and it might be interesting, it doesn't last because there's not as much put into it.
Mhm.
and that just is what it is.
For
Yeah.
s- for someone that's been at the level that you've been at for as long as you have, does anything surprise you anymore as far as like the flash in the pans or people coming and going that you thought were going to be a big deal? Or is it just like,
Nah, nah, I love everybody and
right,
I support everybody. But it's bigger than just your opening moment.
right,
It's how you navigate through that. And a lot of the people who had big opening moments, they're seeing how difficult it is to navigate through that. And a lot of them may or may not make it out of that to reinvent and do new things, but a lot of them get lost in the sauce because they never thought that that thing that went up like this would ever go down as fast as it did. And that's the scary thing about the the information age that we're in now is everything goes up so fast and it comes down so fast.
Yeah.
And there's really no rule book or there's no coach that tells you how to get yourself back up and back popping. And
Yeah.
they all go through it. The comedians, you could just. I was watching the Liver King documentary the other day, and it's like people like that. They come out of nowhere,
yeah,
they're
that guy's
hella
gone.
successful, they're hella popular, and then they're just gone, and they can't do anything to save themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm happy I'm not one of them.
For sure. I just gotta say, man, hearing your take on the blogger versus streaming era feels very validating. You know what I mean? Because like I'm an
Yeah.
artist too, when I be in these spaces, I be telling people like, not knocking the streaming era, but it's definitely like there's this longevity vibe that's missing. You know what I mean? For whatever
Yeah.
reason, it's kind of like everything feels microwavable, whereas like all the stuff from blog era and even maybe like the early 2010s is like that stuff is standing the test of time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just dope to hear your take on that.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you're getting to like you're not even old, but like you're have been doing this for so long, but age-wise you might be older than like you're still very much relevant, but age-wise you're a lot older than some of the guys coming out. You feel like you're in that elder statesman like
Nah, nah, I
nah.
don't. I don't feel like that at all.
I was gonna say
I gotta be reminded that
that you're that
that
old
that's
and
a
you're not even
thing.
old. You're what, 35,
I'm
36?
37, bro.
Right.
I'll be 38 this year. I am up there. That is like a shock to some people, but it's more shocking because I don't give off that older energy. It's not
Right.
shocking because it's actually old. It's just that people think that when you're, 2 years away from 40, that you're supposed to look, act, and talk and be a certain way. But like I'm wise. I take care of myself, but
Right.
I'm not like I'm not outdated, and I still, indulge in what's popular and what's going on around me. And I don't overuse my opinion on anybody. Everything that I got is from experience. So you can't gain this until you get to my age. That's the only way to get it.
That's
Yeah,
a
you don't
fact.
feel like you're ever gonna be one of those guys like on just being like, today's generation of rap sucks in comparison. You're not gonna be
Nah,
one of
nah,
those
nah,
grumpy
man. I
old
see it
men.
for what it is, and I come from the real underground, so
Right.
I know how what creating a world is like. But I also know the difference between, being a young man and being an older man. And you definitely know more and are more confident as an older man. Just because you're younger doesn't make you the better, competitor. You might have different stats, but at the end of the day, everybody has their time. Every NBA player shined in their 20s and had to, find a pivot or something else to make themselves more relevant by the time they were my age. You can't ball hard like that all the time, but that doesn't take away from your, what you give into the game and what you still have to offer. So I don't really look at the age thing or anything like that. I look at my personal happiness, and I know when I get on stage, I look better than 98% of niggas, whether you new or old. I don't give a
Right.
fuck. There's like 1% of person that I think looks better than me on stage, and I'm just giving that out. Like I don't even
And
really
they
know
probably
that
don't
person.
kickbox either. They probably don't know how to do that. Oh,
They don't do half of the stuff that I do, but that's me. That's my path. I don't compare myself to nobody.
sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched you go on stage for make an appearance on Jelly Roll Stagecoach. Why are you always like the coolest person on stage? Every stage you're
Because I really am.
on. That's about it.
That's that's just like I look at myself, I'll be like, man, that dude is really, really cool.
I mean, you
But
got it.
like,
Obviously, you made it this far, but you watch other people on stage. I guess
yeah,
do you get nervous? Do you get
no,
nervous for
I don't
anything
get
anymore?
nervous at all. I take pride in this. I love this. I know that there's a kid out there in the middle of the crowd who's going to do exactly what I'm doing one day. So I'm just trying to shoot laser beams out there so he can feel the positive or she can feel the positive energy and get the confidence to do that shit one day too. That's all.
Mhm.
So let's talk about so you're gonna be in Wisconsin. Well, let's for starters this Sunday, Sand
Yeah.
in My Boots Festival 2025. So tell me
Mm.
about that one. That's kicking off like your very, very busy summer.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be a good one. It's Morgan Wallen's festival. So there's gonna be a lot of country fans out there, but I
They don't
like
know who
how
you
the
are for sure.
yeah, no,
But
no, no, yeah, hell yeah. I like how they mix it up and just
right.
give people an experience. It's just for people who love music in general. And to be, one of the people who are able to like cross the genres and mix different crowds together, I think that's way more fun and important than people even know about. Like that stuff lasts forever and it pushes the festival and everything like that forward where they're able to do more later. So it's cool. It's fun. Morgan is a real homie of mine, and Jelly Roll and Ernest and Hardy and all of them fools. Like I just been supporting them on a friendship level for like 5 or 6 years now. So it's cool to be doing festivals with them.
Yeah. Do you have a and you have toured with like major bands and whatnot. Do you have a preference as far as like touring at this point when you're going like touring with like full bands or touring with other rappers since you've kind of done both and seen it both ways? Do you have a preference or how do they like compare against each other?
I don't really have a preference. I just cater my show to what I think the crowd is going to be. Like I went on tour with Fall Out Boy,
Right.
and that was one thing, and I went on tour with ASAP Rocky, and that was another thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the cats that you see like out now, I've had them on my tours opening for me, or I've opened for people overseas and things like that. So it's just all about connecting the energy and also just doing something new. So I'm going on tour before my amphitheater tour, and it's gonna be like more intimate,
Yeah.
but it's still an experience and it's still something to walk away from, and that will translate to like bigger stages and just builds up the anticipation and the excitement and things like that. And that's just what it's all about, is just people being excited and having an experience. So it doesn't even really matter like to me if the band is there, if it's not there. I'm gonna just personalize the experience and you still gonna feel it.
Yeah, your Good Vibes Only tour this summer. You and Sean Paul. That's a pretty good
Yeah.
tour right
Crazy
there. You have the
lineup.
baby.
Yeah, the
Those are gonna be
baby,
some
yeah.
fun shows.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be good for the summer. It's gonna give people like we said, good vibes only.
So you coming to Milwaukee soon. What do you like coming and doing shows out this way? You
Yeah,
should
yep. I've been in Milwaukee for a long time. Like just y'all are like a market that's really important that people don't even know about for real.
Starting to know about Milwaukee now, though.
Yeah,
Been
yeah,
there.
yeah. Well, I think people know, but it's just like acknowledging it, and you know what I'm saying? Because ever since I was first working my first record when I was 19 years old, say yeah,
Yeah,
Milwaukee was always one of the stops that we hit, whether it was for radio shows or just promo or to like hit clubs and mess with the DJs, and then
yeah,
good college town and just all of that. So it's fun.
I'd
yeah.
be wrong if I didn't tell you, bro. So Summerfest, you did Summerfest way back. Listen,
2011. That's the one where you almost caused a damn riot. You were the place was
you had
packed
to
as
match,
hell.
bro. I grew up in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on North Side, right? Listen, bro, the impact you had on the city, bro, when you had to cut the whole nine, bro. Come on, everybody, you had Milwaukee on tilt, bro.
Yeah,
Real.
no, it was fun. It's fun times. Fun
Oh yeah.
time.
Every Summerfest or every couple years, there's some artist who just pulls like a legendary crowd at one of like the non-amphitheater stages. In 2011, yeah, you had that place packed. And I think people
Yep.
were thought that you they thought you might not be showing up or something. There were like rumors circulating ahead of time that you
Mm,
might be canceling. So you
mm.
like live in Summerfest infamy. Obviously, you were there. It
Oh
was
yeah.
packed, but you were there for sure. But
I'm starting to like come back. I'm starting to remember. I'm starting to
Shit
remember.
was so epic, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah.
ever
It's
like,
starting to
I
come
mean,
back.
at this
I
point, you
remember
must
you
forget.
though. I remember Wave Chappelle. I remember this guy.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fire. Yeah,
You
man.
guys,
I met you a couple times through Ja Spice.
yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, 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 man. We jammed a couple times in Atlanta, man. Showed me a lot of love, man. We
yep,
appreciate it.
yep, no doubt.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
hard
yeah.
name. He's a hard name not to remember with the Dave Chappelle. He actually just
Nah.
opened for Talib Kweli, and
Oh,
Talib
okay.
Kweli hit up Dave Chappelle. He's like,
Dave
"Yo,
Chappelle texted him like, man, I ran into that fool.
Good shit, yo.
do you believe in ghosts? Because Saturday, May 24th, the Rave. So that's like supposedly haunted. I don't know if you've gotten the chance to like explore the
Yeah,
dungeon,
that pool downstairs
the
and
pool
all that.
downstairs. You
Yeah,
must have signed it by now, right?
yeah, I think I did.
Like 10 times. Damn.
Yeah, 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 for
And you
sure.
got how's the press run going? I liked one of your most recent interviews or an article. You said, I mean, at this point in your career, you're kind of, I mean, you've earned everything that you're doing, whether it's tours, press, like shows, like music that you're making, like you do everything, like you enjoy every part of like where you're at this point in your
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's fun for me. And I know how much it impacts people, and the rewards aren't instant. There's nobody holding a check in front of me or anything like that. So yeah, I really wake up and I keep it on my mind, and I'm being creative, and it's fun to interact and things like that. My kids are good. My house is fine, so I'm able to really work and be comfortable, and just put out some really good energy that I hope you know just adds to everything that's going on in the music space right now.
100%. Kyle, you got one? You good?
No, yeah, I was thinking,
I mean,
man,
I got one
we got a
because you
couple
brought up.
more. We got a couple more
Yeah,
minutes lleft.
yeah,
What else
we
you got
finna,
for him?
we get you out of here. I wanted to say, because you brought up "Say Yeah." So
Hmm.
that joint, were you familiar with the sample to that song before you made it, or
Yes.
The
did you
better
hear the
off
joint
alone.
and then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew better off alone. It wasn't like I was a raver or somebody who was. I just appreciate all different types, the
Yeah.
different genres of music,
Yeah.
and like I've been good at blending genres,
Mhm.
taking stuff that may not be accepted so much in our community and just being like, hey, I'll put my
Yeah.
own spin on it and now y'all can fuck with it.
I mean, yeah,
And
like the
that
thrill, for
like the
example.
thrill, exactly.
Yeah,
Like the
shout out my
thrill. Like,
friend Donnie. He told me my friend Donnie personally asked me to tell you that he likes that song a lot. So
yeah, yeah.
there you
And that
go.
was something that came to me like I was doing a show somewhere, and this kid was like, he just played the song for me and was like, "Man, if you freestyle over this, bro, that shit will be legendary." And I was like, "Cool, I could do that. That should be easy."
And it was.
And, and I liked it. Yeah, it was easy, and I liked the song. I'm like, that shit sound all right. I could always hear different things in the music. So when it came to something like "Say Yeah," that was natural for me to be able to like cross the two over. And Giuliano is actually the one who produced that beat. And Giuliano produces for like for
Yeah.
Cardi and like Kendrick and shit like that. He's from Pittsburgh. So we both really started, our journey of just like expanding people's ears musically together at a really, really young age.
Yeah, and you go from something like that to name on a cloud over the far
Yeah,
side running beat. Like that was
yeah.
another early whiz, one that made a lot of noise. But with a couple minutes left, Wave, why don't you take it home with our go home question?
Yeah, so we like to ask our guests, man, before we get out of here, you know what I mean? We ask you to leave us with a mantra. You know what I'm saying? It could be deep, it could be super, super simple, just a mantra or something that you live by. You know what I'm saying?
Smoke weed every day.
Hey,
Come on, Wiz. I mean, that's
that's hard. Oh, that's
I mean, it
hard.
works for him. He's doing all right. So well, we we appreciate your
I'm
time,
telling
man.
you. Thank you guys, man.
Yeah,
I'll see
man.
y'all this weekend, yeah.
Show, Wiz.
Yeah,
We
for sure. Take
appreciate you,
care.
bro. We definitely got to make it out to a show, man. We
Yeah,
appreciate you.
we'll be at the Milwaukee one for sure.
All right, for sure. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Y'all be safe.